That's pretty. You've seen the thumbnails. You know what's up. It's a clickbait video. In hindsight, because I shot the intro after the actual video, the instrument that I end up making out of these chimes is really a one of a kind. It's not just an instrument to be made out of something weird because it's something weird. There is no other way that I could have constructed this instrument, and it is a really wonderful sounding instrument. So let's dive right in. Let's get to it, shall we? What if we did a little transition? I'm all about them these days. What do you think? $1.95 from the yard store. This little store in Wichita, it's a really nice place to... Oh, you couldn't hear that? This little store in Wichita, it's a lovely place to shop.
Why's there duct tape on my desk?
You guys ever been, like, tired? I just woke up. I'm gonna try to make something out of this. I think I can make something. Let me see what I can do. Just give me a shot. God, they're so loud. My plan for these is to make a sample instrument. There are a couple issues that I may run into. The first being, I have no idea if these chimes are in tune with each other. I'm sure they're not tuned to an actual pitch. So what I'm thinking right now, the way I make this sample instrument is by muting all the other ones, chiming one chime. Is that how you say it? I'm gonna chime one of them, record it, and let the tail ring out, and I will chime then the other 4. So I'll have 5 chime tones. You tracking with me? Once I've got those 5 chime tones, I can tune them to a real note. And then I can put those notes in Logic Pro's sampler instrument. And I can spread them out over maybe like 2 octaves, 2.5 octaves. And then we can see what kind of stuff we want to play with it. We can see what's cool to process it. I don't know that far ahead yet. Let's just... Let's see what we can do. First things first, I gotta record these. For those of you who watched the last video, I didn't have a microphone stand then. I ain't got one now, so, oh, you're so loud. Oh my God. I'm so organized and things like that. It would be so nice if I had a stand, you know what I mean? That would just be it'd be a little too easy. But as it stands right now, I'm just gonna lay it on the desk here. Can you stay shut? My drawer just keeps climbing open. Stay shut, dude. Here I am. This corner is always clean, because like I shoot intros and stuff in that direction. That corner normally doesn't get seen. But pay it no mind. We're ready though. Let's do this. Let's see what one chime looks like. I can do this. I've got pretty good control with this little dangler, and I can just kind of hit. Okay, I think I got this. I'll just get all of them in one big long take. Don't forget which one you did. Dang it, I taped my drawer shut. I wanted to have a way to mark which one I had recorded. Got that one. Okay, let's move on. Got that one. It's worth mentioning that that first one was pretty soft, but it was a good tone. That second one was a lot louder. I'll even out the volumes in post. Don't even worry about that. Yeah, we'll be good on that. That was a good tone. Delicious. Ooh! Yeah, that's good. I feel like I have to hold my breath while I do it, or else it'll hear me over here like... Oh! That's a good one. Yes, sir. Ooh, that's a weird one. That was a good tone. This one was a good tone, apparently. Pure! Do I count 5 little chinks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do! Okay, drawer. You can open again. Let's get them right back to back to back to back to back to back. Back to back to back to back to back. 5 backs to back. And first thing I'm gonna do is volumes. I'm gonna make sure that they're all hitting more or less at the same volume. Let's go for a sweet spot of 12. Do you guys see what I'm looking at? Someday I'll have a 4K camera and you'll be able to zoom in and it won't be blurry. Over here though, I'm looking at the peaks. So the peak at this one is -11. -12 is kind of a sweet spot where a lot of plugins work the best. That's why I thought to go with 12 instead of a different number. This is at 7.4, 11.4, 10.4, 10.4. 10.4. Okay, so now they should all sound about the same volume-wise. Okay? I'll bet you these sound really cool backwards, too. Is there a tornado? Straight up a tornado siren. Can you guys hear it? Maybe you can't. I'll keep going. We're in the tornado alley here. Kansas. Yeah, go Kansas. Tornado. Oh, we're so cool because we have windstorms that just wreck people's homes. And the Wizard of Oz. You guys seen The Wiz?
Get on down the road. Don't you carry nothing that might be alone. Come on, get on down.
That's the version of The Wizard of Oz that I am akin to. Woo! Remind me that I want to flip these backwards because I do want to try that. First, I need to tune them though. Every DAW probably has a DAW. Digital Audio Interface. That's not even the right letters. Digital Audio Workspace. They all have probably native tuners. This is my native tuner. Let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, that's tough. Because there's some overtones that take over pretty quick. Take over. Run the montage of the Grand Budapest Hotel. Take over. Take over.
Take over. Take over. Take over. Take over.
Take over. I'm on fire this morning. I'm tired, but I'm on fire with the quotes and whatnot. I'm trying to figure out what the best way to do this is. Pitch correction. What? Not great. Man, I may have run into something here. Is this gonna work at all? This may not work at all, folks. The pitch shifter that I'm using really hates the like overtones that are going on. That didn't go very well, I'm afraid. Do I just hope it's in tune? It's not in tune. I wonder. Maybe this sampler tunes it by itself. It's worth trying, right? Yeah, let's try it. Let's just throw it in. I'm backing out on my own plan. But I've got no other options, okay? We gotta do it this way. Okay, here's how you make a sampler instrument in Logic Pro. It'll probably be different for your DAW, in which case, you'll have to check another channel. But then come back to this channel because, I'm telling you cooler stuff than they are. Probably, I don't know. Okay, add a new track, add a software instrument. And for me, I have it set as just the one that pops up. But it's called sampler, okay? Let's dive into this sampler. Ooh, newly renovated.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's clean. I got all these options here. The zones, the mapping. I'm going to highlight my 5 tings. Bell tings. If there's a chit chat ting, better talk nice. Hot tamale. Have you ever heard fire before? Take a listen. Pretty good, huh? Ooh. That's dangerous. Dude. Ow, ow, ow. Why did I... If it's a chit-chat ting. Wow, I get so distracted. We highlight our 5 tings and we drag them down into it. Now, here's something I discovered not too long ago. You can choose how wide you want those zones to be. You can go 1 zone to, I don't know, probably as many as you want. Here's the other thing. If you go below 1, they all stack up on each other, which means now the zones will change depending on what velocity you hit the notes. Do you hear what I'm saying? This is big time. This is how you would make an instrument like if I was sampling a snare drum or even just a drum kit. If I wanted to make a drum kit that you could, load into your sampler and it would be ready to play. I'd take the snare drum, I'd hit it really softly. Then I'd hit it a little louder, just a little, and then a little louder, and I might do 10 different volumes, okay? Then I would take those volumes and I would, instead of saying this one is low, this one's medium, this one's loud, I would stack them up so that every time the same note is the snare drum, but if you play the snare soft, you don't just get a loud snare at a lower volume, you get an actual softly played sample. And it's a much more realistic way to make a sample if you're doing that sort of thing. Because, real instruments, they sound different when you play them soft versus when you play them loud. Example at hand, this thing. Let's play it loud, shall we? Kind of an angry scream. Let's play it softly. Sounds a lot different. Like the breath of the wild. Kind of like a whispery ghost. Like he's trying to tell us something. Let's listen. What's he trying to tell us? You see my point. So, that's a powerful thing inside a sampler instrument. Something to think about. We're not going to use that today because we don't need to. But someday, we might. Someday, you might have to. So be ready for that. Let's see what we got going on. You know, if worse comes to worse and they're out of tune, we'll call it lo-fi.
Oh, you kicking you, oh, you, I say. I ain't got time to kiss you now, my muse run away.
Let's see what they sound like in reverse. Pretty cool. So we're just gonna clean up each sample real quick. Samples are cleaned up. It remains to be seen how well tuned they are. So we're gonna figure that out soon. Let me drink some water real quick. I just had some clarity on what in the world to do with this. At first I was thinking, let's make a keyboard that I can play like a chorded part. Maybe I can play a melody of some sort. I was gonna lay a keyboard out, like a 24 note keyboard with these samples and see what it did for me. I'm looking into the future and seeing that I think that path is fraught, is not a good one. I'm not gonna go down that path. Instead, I'm noticing that a bunch of the notes, they kind of almost all have the same sweet spots. So what if I make them all the same pitch and use them to write a melody, but now I've got a chime choir playing on this melody. They're gonna interact with each other in a really weird way.
I think it could be cool.
I'm gonna try it. Let's try that. They're not in tune. I can tell that's out of tune. Yeesh.
Ow! Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Okay, that one's not working either. Get out of my face. So now, let me grab my MIDI. Whoa, you kicking me. Let's see what happens. Wow, yeah, it worked. So I'm noticing, I kind of hate how that one sounds. So I'm actually just gonna get rid of it. I don't like how that sounds at all. Those ones are slightly out of tune from each other, but I like how they sound the most. I might run with that. What I did just now is I flipped the sample backwards. I'm gonna try to make something with this backwards stuff. Let's see what we can do. Oh, here's the crazy thing about the sampler. So you'll notice, watch this. I'm gonna play 3 notes, a chord, as it were, and I'm gonna hit them at exactly the same time. Ready? But did you notice that they finished at different times? Watch, I'll do it with octaves. Oh, I messed up. They finish at drastically different times. And this is because in order to tune the notes, the sampler just slows up the sample or speeds down. It just slows down the sample or speeds it up. So that means you could play them perfect on time and you're always gonna get that. I don't know if I'll be able to put that to use, but that's a cool thing to know. Remember that. Okay, let's see what we can do. And I think simple is better. So I'm gonna play around with the chords E minor to F, back down to E minor, up to A minor. But now I've got 2 different sample sounds in the same instrument. So with one sample, I'm just gonna play the fifths of those. And then in between those pockets, I'm gonna come in and fill it in with the thirds of the chord on the other one. Does that make any sense? Maybe if I do it, it'll make more sense. That's my tempo. Let's play a game. Pa, pa. What tempo is that? Put in the comments right now what you think that tempo is. I think it's 100 and it's 110. 110 is just barely too slow. 112. It's a pretty useless skill, but I think it's fun. Okay. Okay, I got it. And I'm gonna split them up over the 2 of them, but I found this and I'm gonna run with this. I'm into it though, I really am. What? What just happened? You gotta be kidding me. My sampler just jacked up.
What is going... You gotta be kidding me.
Is there not a Command Z in the thing? Undo. Oh my gosh, there's a learning curve. I somehow completely jacked up the sampler and I was literally about to remake it because Command Z doesn't work inside the sampler, so I was freaking out. But huzzah.
Huzzah! A man of quality.
Oh man, I am lucky as toast. There's an undo and a redo button. Everybody take a deep breath. I think that's cool. What do you think? Man, I'm gonna have to go one note at a time. I like an A here. I like a C here. 2 G's in a row. 3 G's in a row. We can do a similar thing. Bum, bum, bum. I think that's cool. So now what I'm gonna do is take every other note and bring it an octave down because I want those notes to play on my other sample. Okay, that's something there. Nice. So I've made the sample.
Holy moly! These boys are a hit!
We've got the sample here. Oh dear. It's time to see what we can do with it chain-wise. You know, there are 2 different ways to come about chains on instruments. One of them is to know the end goal and to shoot for it. Wow! To try to get that end goal. And one of them is to say, I don't know what the end goal is. Let me try some blind things and see what happens. This is probably more of a blind one, to be honest. I know that I think that I know that reverb will sound good on it. But beyond that is beyond me. So we're just gonna have to experiment a little bit. Let's see what we can come up with. I want to really smooth it out and let the notes play together. You know what I mean? So let's see what this does. Oh. Oh. I'm gonna come back to that one. So this one, we've got wobble, we've got 8-bit. That's sounding really cool on it. Probably a little echo. Okay. Very good. Yeah. All from this? Are you kidding me? Have you lost your mind? Boy, I'll help you find it. From this to this?